Falcons fans, do you believe in your team? That's the question I have for you, because I think that you're starting to get a little bit of love, not a ton of love, but you're starting to get a little bit a lot of love. And we start hearing stories about a lot of different writers saying the Falcons are a team that could win the South. They're a team that could compete for the playoffs. Like, they're a team that's on the cusp. I think the reason nobody wants to just go out and say you're going to be a good team is nobody knows exactly what Ritter's going to be. But my question to you as fans is, do you believe in what your team is doing? And the news does keep getting better because people keep talking more about what they're doing, what the Dirty Birds, the Falcons, are doing. And Adam Rank of NFL.com is the most recent one. He did an extensive piece on the state of the franchise. And let's just highlight a few parts. And I got this off Sports Talk ATL, not to be confused with Sports Talk Extra. They have nothing to do with us, but I thought they did a good job. So here's what he said. Your best player, your projected MVP, is Calais Campbell, defensive end. And I don't think he's your MVP because he's your best player. I think he's your MVP because he fits an extreme need and he brings a veteran presence. Wherever he's gone, teams win. And then when he's gone, they don't win as much anymore. He is a good dude. And this team, the Falcons, need more. They ranked 31st with just 21 sacks last season. Campbell can still help in that department. He had 5.5 sacks in 14 games with the Ravens last year. All right. But with the 36-year-old veteran, this is what Rank said, Signee brings to the locker room, and the sideline might be more impactful than anything he does. I agree. That's what I was just saying. Don't get me wrong. Calais needs to go out there and perform, but the 2019 Walter Payton Man of the Year seems to be the exactly the kind of personality who can help a team that has finished no higher than third in the NFC South over the past 3 seasons. That is the next step forward. He went on to talk about who he thinks your breakout candidate's going to be. This is an interesting one. It's Kyle Pitts, tight end. I think we forget, because last year was weird, okay? Before he got the torn MCL, it was a weird year, and I think they can utilize him better. And he said this, Rank said this, if you follow my exploits of fantasy football, then you know that I was banking on the fourth overall pick, Kyle Pitts, having a breakout season in 2022, elevating himself to the upper tight end ranks alongside of Kelsey and Kittle. Unfortunately, he didn't do that, but he still believes Pitts can break out. He's kind of a unicorn out there. Let's be real. It does sometimes take tight ends a while to get going at an NFL level. Atlanta's trade for tight end Jonnu Smith could actually benefit Pitts, freeing him up to a bigger receiving threat this year, not asking him maybe what he means by that is not asking him to do as much blocking. He can be almost like that slot receiver tight end that we were talking about before. Kyle Pitts is a matchup nightmare. He proved that his rookie year. Yes, he had a sophomore slump. He can come back stronger than ever. Ridder is going to look. All right, so here's the storyline by Rank. He said people shouldn't overlook how good the Falcons' offensive line is. I agree. I'm gonna veer off a little bit what he was saying, and I'm just gonna go on my own little soapbox and talk about what I believe is the importance of good offensive line play. Here's what we know about an offensive line. Yes, we know you have to have a good quarterback. We know you have to have talent at the wide receiver position. We know you have to have talent at running back and at tight end. Atlanta has Bijan Robinson. They have Pitts. They have London. They have talent in all those areas outside of the quarterback position. Here's the thing about the offensive line. It elevates. When you have a bad offensive line, it takes the talent ceiling and lowers it of all the position players. If you have a talented offensive line, and they could, in PFF last year, they ranked 7th, and I think they're better. So they could be very easily a top 5 offensive line this year. If you have a good offensive line, you raise the ceiling of every single position player. Why? Because you give them more opportunity. You give the quarterback more time to throw. You give wide receivers more time to get open. You give running backs bigger running lanes. Like, it changes everything. Take it from me. You see the lion back there watching the Detroit Lions last year with their offensive line, when their offensive line was cooking. You saw Jared Goff put together one of his best years as a pro, and he was a Pro Bowler. There's no reason to think that with Smith here that Ritter can't become Tannehill and that this offense can't start cooking. All right, Tyler Algier, went over 1,000 yards last year? Tyler Algier, imagine what Bijan's going to be able to do. Are you kidding me? Like, it's totally different. So people shouldn't look. This is what he said, how good the offensive line is. They ranked 7th in the O-line rankings. They created some stability by extending Chris Lindstrom. Dude is a baller. They extended Caleb McGarry. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. My baby. McGarry, they will have rookie Matthew Bergeron starting at left guard next to Jake Matthews. The Falcons already ranked 3rd in rushing last year behind Tyler Algier and Cordero Patterson. They should be better with Bijan in the backfield. Continuing to run the rock effectively behind this line will just open up things for my guy, Kyle Pitts. Yes, I'm still trying to make that a thing. And Drake London, who could also have a breakout year this year. By the way, everybody talks about Kyle Pitts and how he needs to have a breakout year. Drake London was good. And I don't think he gets enough love. Every metric that you see, yards per route run, he was 11th in football. He had PFF ratings in the high 80s. Like, for a rookie, these are things that you don't see. The dude is just straight up a good player. So, yeah, that's a thing. Like, he's a good player. So I want to tell you Falcons fans, like, Drake London, there's a video I did. You can see it. I don't know which one I'm going to post first, talking about Drake London can be a fantasy football league winner for you this year, because he's going to go out there and I believe put up wide receiver number 1. He could go wide receiver number 1 when you're not drafting him as a wide receiver number 1. Those are the kind of things that win you a league. Find those guys. So yes, things are looking up for the Falcons. They play in still what is not a good division. I think you give, I get it. You got Carr coming to New Orleans. He hasn't proven to be phenomenal yet. So let's just take a second and let's realize, like, they have a good shot at winning the South, which means they have a good shot at making the playoffs. And you get to see Ritter operate in an offense that I think will be tailored very well to his skill set, because I think he's a very similar quarterback to Ryan Tannehill. I think that's a good comp for him. I really do. So it'll be fun to see what this offense looks like when you have all the pieces around. And they do. They do. They've got the offensive line. They've got enough talent at wide receiver. They have a unicorn at tight end. And they have what everybody is calling a generational type back, which comes around every 2 years, in Bijan Robinson. Get on the bandwagon. See you on the next one. Keep watching. Hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here.